Okay, I think we're about to get started, everyone. So thank you for joining us for our Blue Christmas service. This service is an opportunity to find some quiet and reflect upon the blue feelings that can occur during this season. At one point later in the service, we'll ask you to light a candle. So make sure to have a candle or another light, but if you don't have one, that's okay too. We'll also be using Zoom's chat feature later in the service, as we've mentioned. So if you would like to practice using this feature and you haven't already, feel free to type a greeting into the Zoom chat located through the chat button at the bottom of your screen. Also, please try to remain muted throughout the service, including during call and response sections. We will have leaders read both the call and response phrases, so feel free to speak along with the response, but remember to keep yourself muted so we don't experience any audio issues. Thank you. Tonight, we gather with friends and with strangers.
We come as we are to God.
Tonight, we gather with hopes and with questions.
We come as we are to God.
Tonight, we gather with doubts and with dreaming.
We come as we are to God.
Tonight, we come as we are to God.
And God has promised to meet us here.
Save the way that leads on high, and close the path to misery. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, who is
A reading from Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let your foot be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. He who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all evil. He will keep your life. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time on and forevermore.
A reading from Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
And now we'll have a litany of remembrance. There'll be a time of silent prayer. And just a reminder that there will be a time for you to light your candles later in the service. We light this first candle to remember those whom we have loved and lost. We pause to remember clearly their faces, their voices, their bodies. We embrace and give thanks for the memories that bind them to us in this season of expectation, when all creation waits for the light.
We remember them with love. May God's eternal love surround them.
We light this second candle to remember the pain of loss. Loss of relationships, loss of trust, loss of jobs, loss of health, loss of faith, the loss of joy. We acknowledge and embrace the pain of the past, O God, and we offer it to you, asking that into our wounded hearts and open hands, you will place the gift of peace. Shalom.
We remember that through you all things are possible. Refresh, restore, and renew us, O God, and lead us into your future.
We light this third candle to remember ourselves this Christmas time. We pause and remember the past weeks, months, and for some of us years that we have been heavy with our burdens. We accept and lay before you, God, the sharpness of memory, the sadness and grief, the hurt and fear, the anger and pain. We accept and lay before you the ways we feel we have fallen short and the times we have spent blaming ourselves and you for all that we have suffered. We accept and lay before you the time we have walked alone in darkness and in knowledge of our own mortality.
We remember that though we have journeyed far, and that while lost we may have turned away from the light itself has not failed. We remember that though winter be upon us, and though the night be dark, with the turning of the wheel, the dawn will come, and dawn defeats the darkness.
We light this fourth candle to remember faith, the gift of light and hope that God offers to us in the stories of Hanukkah and of Christmas, which both also began in abandonment, insecurity, and humbleness in a time of war and in a poor stable. We remember that the loving God who kept the light shining in the temple and who came to share this life with us promises us comfort and peace.
We remember the one who shares our burdens, who shows us the way to the light, and who journeys with us into all our tomorrows.
At this time, we want to invite you to lift up what you are missing this holiday season, what maybe you're grieving or wishing was here and is not. This may be a loved one, a friend, a neighbor. It can be someone you are unable to be around right now. It may be a family or church tradition. It may be something else that you're missing with work or community. But we ask in the chat window below, as we listen to this next song by Lauren Hoke, an instrumental of In the Bleak Midwinter, please put in the chat window what you are missing so that we may lift them all up together. Thank you all for sharing, and I want to lift these up that have been shared in our chat window. If you're on Zoom, you can look in the chat window and follow along. If you're on YouTube, either live or later, we'll lift these up now and invite you to join in remembering and praying for all these. For Haley lifts up missed visits with family. Cindy lifts up a brother who died unexpectedly in May, and the 100 deaths at her hospital where she serves as a chaplain. Katie shares missing family traditions and with time with grandparents. Sally shares missing family. Pam shares seeing people and worship and hugging them. I shared missing the chance to all sing together in a sanctuary. Iris shared missing her elementary students making beautiful music at the winter concert and experiencing all live music this year. Betsy shares miss everyone at Williamsburg Presbyterian Church, miss my brother and my parents and Christmas gatherings. Iris shares miss seeing extended family. Genevieve shares miss Catherine, who loved Christmas so very much. Dee shares miss my father and mother who passed away this year. Anne shares being able to visit with friends who live alone or who are ill. Diane shares miss seeing my family for Christmas, especially mother. Miss Coulter shares miss being able to greet and hug her students, friends, and family. Haley shares miss going Christmas caroling. Katie shares feel grief of the semester of college that was not normal and miss singing Christmas carols in the sanctuary. Pete shares missing his wife and all togetherness. A shares missing health and feeling secure for the future. Melanie shares feeling estranged from family members who elect to be out of touch because of politics. Iris shares miss seeing expressions on faces. A shares friends and family who have passed this year while I couldn't be with them. Anne shares missing the usual traditions, knowing what day it is even. Marla shares Don's mom and grandmother in the hospital and for son in Maine, Trevor. Katie shares miss leaving my house without worry or fear. R. Whitney shares missing family and prayers for the health of all. Haley shares miss eating meals with friends and catching up. And Betsy shares missing coffee fellowship.
Okay. So for this next portion for the prayer, when you hear, Lord, in your mercy, please respond, hear our prayer. In the spirit of this season, let us now confidently ask our God for all the things we need. For ourselves, as we participate in this Christmas, coping with our many different losses and grief. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for all who are unable to earn an income or are struggling to support themselves or their family. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for all experiencing loneliness or isolation. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for any person we have loved who has died, for all the losses we have known in our lives, that all may be redeemed by your Easter promise. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for our family and friends, that you may bless them with love, peace, and joy, even if we are unable to spend the holidays together. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for peace throughout the world, as proclaimed by the Christmas angels on that faraway hillside. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
for greater understanding of the lessons of love and acceptance as taught by Jesus your Christ. Lord, in your mercy,
hear our prayer. We cry out for healing. We cry out for comfort and peace.
and God of great compassion and love, listen to the prayers of these your people. Grant to all, especially the bereaved and troubled ones this Christmas, the blessing we ask in the name of Jesus, who taught you to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
And now we invite you to light your candle. Light your candle as a symbol of our sacred grief, in remembrance of loved ones and all that we are missing this season, and in the hope we find in our triune God.
As you go out this evening, may you know that you are not alone, that all of us are sharing in loss and grief this season, but not only are we surrounded by a community of faith, a community of people who share in this season with us in a new way of being community, but we also have the light of Christ with us. The God who made the cosmos, the universe, the world we live in, that made you and me, came to earth as one of us, to be with us, to dwell with us, to show us how much each of us is loved, even in our darkest of times. So know that that light is with you this day and each day. And as we go, I want that blessing to be witnessed and shared not just by me, but by all of us. So we're going to invite you, if you are willing and able, to unmute yourself. I'll call on your name. And if you can, once I call on your name, if you could say this phrase to everyone here this night. And the phrase is, may the light of Christ shine upon you. So we'll try that all together, and then I'll unmute everyone. So let's try that. May the light of Christ
shine upon you, right? Shine upon you.
And I'll invite Katie.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And then Betsy.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Haley.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Iris.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Pam.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Genevieve and Brent. You're muted. Yeah, and if still muted, let's see if we can get Genevieve in. There.
Okay. May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Sally.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And R. Whitney, 10.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Yeah. And Marla and Ben.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Charlie and Glenn.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Melanie.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And A.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Pete.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Diane.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And BC Brink.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Miss Coulter.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Craig. Craig, do you want to offer that? I saw you unmute.
Yes, he's muted.
Right. So Cindy.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And Kay.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
And I think we missed Sarah and Laura.
May the light of Christ shine upon you.
Yeah. Well, thank you all, and blessings to you all, and a big, thank you, Katie and Haley, for leading us in the service this evening, for all the work, and for the wonderful music of Lauren and Rachel and Norman, and for all of you who shared in the service. It was wonderful to be with you all this evening.
Thanks so much for attending. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Blessings.
Leave.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone.